Here we are in Susquehanna. We came out of the northeast. We made a final run up to here. This is the railroad bridge. Going to work this a little while here with spinner baits, crank baits, so we can pick up a few largemouth, maybe a smallmouth or two. And we'll be on out of here for the day.
Careful. There's a lot of shit in the water that your bait will hit.
Camera's running. Explain what happens around that bridge pylon there. The depth and all, what it does.
Right side is very gravelly, shallow, flat. There's wood pylons under the water that you can see at low tide. There's a seawall that runs parallel, and then it slowly drops off into the main channel. 20 feet of water and grass grows up there. And man, you call your shot here, especially in the summertime. Big largemouth, smallmouth, multiple fish. You can kind of see the post down the water if you look down this angle. You probably can't pick it up on camera. You see chunks of the post under the water.
No. Where's it at?
It's a long beam running right down the entire length of it, just the way you put it down.
I'm over here.
Here,
Yeah.
see it there.
Oh yeah, I do see it. Yeah.
Got me.
I'm surprised they still let you fish next to these. They won't let you in the Delaware anymore.
Three fleas run through here.
Wow, that's pretty wild. That was at a quarry over there?
Yep.
This is Garrett Island.
That's actually an island. You can go up and around.
Is this a working railroad bridge?
Yes.
Now that's the size lure you want. A couple reasons here to show you why we throw this size bait is that the exact length of the bait fish that these bass are eating. Another reason that you want to see this is that's why you buy Lucky Craft crankbaits, because of the hooks. The hook was so sharp that just swimming by that shad, it caught a shad that big. Now look at the size of the bait and look at the shad. And you get that sun hitting that shad and it almost looks like it's chartreuse. Big eyes on the front. Oh, there we go, back in the water.
Which is exactly how those blades on that Terminator spinnerbait look too.
For some reason they did that. That's why when they're really on a small bait fish pattern, I've even had times where you can take the skirt off of the spinnerbait and you'll catch more fish without a skirt than you will with it when they're really keying on small bait fish. Because they really want the blades, not the skirt. I can guarantee you this bait will catch fish someday. Pretty good.
Go.
Down here on the Sassafras River. It's May the 3rd today. Right now we're in Freeman Creek, which is a few miles outside of where we launch our boat in the morning, down by Duffy's Creek. We're just going to throw some Senkos and some jigs in here. We've been throwing some crankbaits and some spinnerbaits for some pre-spawn bass. Cold front came through last night. Air temperatures went down into the high 30s and the low 40s, depending on where you are. Fish weren't very willing to chase your crankbait or your spinnerbait. So we're going to go ahead in with our Senkos and our jigs and see if we can't coax a couple fish to bite. Flipping around some heavy wood cover, tree trunks and laydowns, and any kind of heavy cover we can find.
Right on.
Alrighty. Still down here at the Sassafras River.
The camera doesn't sound good when the cameraman talks. You can't talk at all.
There we go. We had worked some spinnerbaits and crankbaits, and they weren't hitting it, just weren't aggressive. The water temperature is cold. It's only 55 degrees, 57 in some shallows. Now, there's what I did. I went to lighter line on a spinning gear, and that's your Senko. Now, that's the same color Senko that we use in the Ica tubes, and we did very well on the Northeast River with that. Now, this is a hefty bass. Now, he's not that long, but it weighs 2 1/4, almost 2.5 pounds. And you see, you use a very light weight. This is a 32nd ounce weight on that bait with a red hook. Now, it's not red because these are Daiichi. So this is a bleeding bait hook. And if you notice, some of that red is missing off the bend of the hook. That creates contrast. You never want to use a bait that has more than 25% red in it when you're using a bleeding bait hook. And when you chip off some of the red on the hook, and as it gets older and some of the red comes off, that creates contrast. It simulates gill flare. It's not actually blood. That's what they see when shad are being fed upon by bass, and they think that's their gills. That's what they call gill flare. We're going to explain that better in an online seminar. But that's a nice bass. We're going to let it go and get back in here and see if we can catch a few more.
Try to turn another hook in his face.
Leave it there.
Flip this puppy. He's barely hooked. Don't want to flip him in. Loaded with eggs. Gosh. Fish just barely make your 15-inch size limit, but look at the belly on that fish. Gosh. I don't know if that translates to camera, but I'll tell you, that's one fat football of a fish. Some little lice here, or a little bit of leeches here. Nice, good old bass. It's funny how we caught this fish. Steve had that one nice bass in the Senko, but we've been having a little bit of a tough time and been hitting a lot of our areas over and over and over again where the fish are supposed to hit. You know, we've caught some nice fish the last few days, but just hasn't been what we've expected and what we know type of fish that are in this water. And we were getting ready to pull out of this creek and go to another one of our many traditional community holes that we beat up, you know, this time of year. And I just said to Steve, I just have a gut feeling. I'm gonna try it. I might be wasting time, but we could really hit something. Went back here to some isolated cover, 3 different types of cover with different depths here where a fish can live and move up and down. I said, I'm gonna go in here and throw. I said, I see some bait fish activity. We've got a heron up here along the shore. Came back in here, first cast with the crankbait bass hit it. So